Terrible, terrible. But yeah, and it sounds like you had a fun day as well.
Yeah, just boring.
That'd be.
Boring.
Oh, you got chauffeured around for the day. I thought that'd be all right.
Yeah, well, not when we want to get on. You know, got jobs to do and all that. Just like being slowed down.
Nah, that's fair enough, I suppose.
It's like trying to show the guy or get the guy to put a skip on the back of a on the back of a wagon. We're like blocking up traffic, and he's just struggling to do basics. So I'm just like, move the fuck out of the way, let me do it, and I just like put it on in 5 seconds. And it's just like, ugh.
Well, I'm streaming some Diablo 2 hardcore if you care to come and watch.
Yeah, I can have a watch for an hour or so. Oh, would you like to see how the Russians took down the American drone?
Yeah, leave me the video.
Oh no, it's a picture.
Oh, right. Oh, no.
I'll just stream the picture.
Well, I'm in the middle of my stream at the moment, so, hang on. Oh, God. It's Stormright. Kill him. Fire resist shrine. No, I don't think I will. Oh, that's the tower. We don't want the tower. Well, we'll take the armor shrine. Ah, it's actually nice to be at home and be on the computer and not have to worry about anything else. Oh, experience shrine. Change my mind, I'll take that. Le Brute. Kill the shaman. Here we go, we're in the Tomo Highlands. And everyone who's previously watched will be like, but Cheddar, you did this the other day. I was like, yes, but I'm playing hardcore, so I'm milking it for XP. Like, fuck am I walking into the monastery without as much XP I can milk out of these areas. I'm not that fucking guy. Minor mana pot, we'll take that, thank you very much. Light healing, ooh, chip topaz. Anything else of note? Archer, please. We got our inventory. Oh, we actually have quite a lot of potions. Okay. Firing Malazor. Can we hit the shaman in the building? No, we can't. It doesn't matter. He's walked out of the building like a mug. We'll just kill him then. Oh, we went to see Scream 6 yesterday.
Any good?
Now...
That's a no.
Well, no, it's not. Because... you got to remember, you're asking a fanboy of the Scream series if he thinks a Scream film is good. And I will be the first to admit I am a fanboy of the Scream series. So, it's kind of not really a fair question. I really enjoyed it. Even Tori thought it was pretty good.
Fair enough.
You got to remember, like, as far as horror movies go, it's it comes under the horror genre, but it's always been a whodunit film. You know, it's always a murder. It's a murder mystery first, a horror second, which is why a lot of people go, "Ah, it weren't really scary," and it's like, no, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to. You're supposed to work out who the fucking killer is before everyone gets stabbed, only leaving two people, the killer and, you know, the obvious main character. That's the whole point of the film. And I felt they did that very well. They used a method that had previously been used in another Scream film, and because I've never seen them really recycle methods before, I wasn't expecting them to recycle this method. And yeah, I managed to work out like the base number of the killers. Like, normally it's 2, sometimes there's 1. Spoiler alert for anyone watching, there is actually more than 2. But that was kind of, you kind of work that out as fairly obvious by about, I'd say probably about 40 minutes in. I mean, if it's not obvious to you by 40 minutes in, there's multiple killers, then well, you're not paying attention to the film. You're just watching it. At which point you're probably going to go, "Oh, this is naff." But yeah, no, I thought it was good. The plot was, it did genuinely catch me off guard. Because I know for a fact that the guy who played Stu in the original film was on the set, and so was Neve Campbell. But Neve Campbell, that's the woman who plays Sydney, said she wasn't in the film. But nothing was said about Stu. So I just assumed that Stu was going to come back and be the bad guy. But yeah, there's lots of twists and turns in the storyline. There's a lot of like, oh shit moments. For the first time in Scream history, the killer gets kills without knives, which adds to the absolute fucking chaos of some of the scenes. Oh, the body count is through the roof. I thought the previous ones had a lot of dead people in it. No. I think there's more dead people by about the 1 hour mark than all the other previous movies combined. It gets real out of hand real fast. Especially when they end up in the bodega. It's just, for things just go fucking sideways. I would recommend it, but it only really makes sense if you've seen all of them, and more importantly that you've understood all of them up to that point. If you haven't really understood what's going on, then it's just going to be like, why are they saying these things? That motive doesn't make sense. You know, I mean, the motive by the killers right at the end was a very obvious one once the reveal was given, but like, up until that point, like, the motives are all over the place. Like, you're not really sure. Oh, hey Nils, you're not really sure like who to believe, and they bring a lot of they have you even questioning like main characters, which is good. I think if they can get you to do that in a Scream film, they're doing their job at storytelling, in my opinion. But yeah, I could talk about that film for literally hours. I thought it was very good, and entirely worth the £5.20 per ticket.
Cheap.
Yeah, well, we went to the View.
Are they still doing £5 for like a film?
So £5
per ticket.
Yeah, it's like £5 plus change.
Yeah. Yeah, the Odeon used to do that, but they stopped doing that now.
Yeah, I'm not paying Odeon prices. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Odeon's the superior of the two cinemas with the screens and everything, but I'm just not paying that anymore. Like, for the sort of price they want you to spend at an Odeon, I may as well just buy a TV, a DVD player, and wait for it to come out on DVD, which is what I have been doing. I mean, you know, I've had having a kid as well generally has had an effect in that regards as well, so that's to be taken into consideration. Does this go round? It does go round, and I've walked into just a demon pack. That's okay. Oh, it's a hawk helm. I can't remember if those are worth money. We'll pick it up and see if it is. Oh, okay. Come on, Ellie. Oh no, that's the way down. That little black bit. There we go. We're playing Diablo 2. And I've leveled. Ring-a-ding-ding-dong. Merc has like literally one job. Oh, I didn't mean to put the point in strength. Fuck. Ah, shit nuts. Oh, 1 point in vitality then. Use the power of your mind to pick up items. Teleport. I don't get that till level 18. What level am I? I am level 15. So level 17 I need 1 point in telekinesis, and then level 18 I can get 1 point in teleport. I think we'll take the extra point into lightning. Increase that minimum damage. Well, the minimum damage of lightning never actually goes up, but your average damage goes up, so it's all good. Did you ever watch the original Scream then, Alfie?
Maybe years ago, but I definitely cannot remember it.
Do you want me to lend you the box set?
Yeah, could do. I mean, I could watch the original again. I'm not going to complain at that.
I've got I've got 1 through 5, so you know.
Yeah.
I can always lend it to you.
I just find horror movies to be shit. Basically, I never normally like horror movies because they're normally the worst written films known to mankind.
Yes, I will agree. I actually started watching the requel of Texas Chainsaw Massacre at work.
Yeah. At least with the older ones, there's a little bit of a charm to them.
Yeah.
Even if they don't age that well.
No. I was really, 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 really disappointed with the requel of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, really disappointed.
Yeah.
I think they now rely on it being so shit that it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's that as a factor. People do watch films ironically because they're bad, because they're like funny bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was one I watched that was actually quite funny bad? Moonfall.
What the fuck was that? I've never heard of that.
Moonfall. That's a brilliant bad film. You literally the writers clearly just did not give a shit at all. They just writ it down, didn't even proofread what they'd written, and just went, yeah, we'll just stick that in the film. Let's go for a beer. They really did not care about the film at all. It's I watched it on the plane to America. It was just so fucking terrible. It's like an apocalyptic disaster movie where the moon is literally falling
Oh,
in from the Earth.
that's on Netflix at the minute. I'm gonna watch that.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
watch
on.
it. It's just such a shit movie. But the thing is, you start watching it. Oh, and it's a massive Nexus advertisement as well. Because literally, there's a scene when I think the fucking world's going to shit because the moon's gone out of its orbit. So of course everything's blowing up now because of, America. And they're trying to get away from fucking asteroids or fucking houses falling down, something like that. And they're like, "Oh, we need to go faster. We need to go faster." And in this Lexus SUV thing,
Right.
and like the guy who's a Lexus salesman, don't worry, we've got a warp speed button, and and they cut to a shot of him hitting the sport button on the Lexus
Oh
with the
God.
Lexus badge in the badge in the background. It's just so fucking
That just
crap.
sounds
It's so
awful.
funny.
I
It
must
really is.
I
You
must
you
watch
start
this
watching
film.
it and you realise how bad the film is, but then you get invested in how bad it is.
You just want to know how this terrible plot finishes.
Yeah, and then there's another scene. A little bit of a spoiler on this one, but where they're trying to fucking send people up to the moon to, like, to do something to kick it back into place properly.
Right.
And they're about to launch and everything.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember why, but there's a reason that they can't do the launch anymore. So they tell everyone, right, world's gonna die, go home, blah blah blah. And then literally 5 minutes later, they're like, oh wait, we can do the launch now. And then I think the main protagonist is like, but no one's here, we can't do it. Oh, that's okay, we can do it with 6 people. But literally 5 minutes beforehand, they sent everyone. People probably haven't even gotten out the car park yet, and they're like, "It's okay, we can do it with 6 people." And then 2 of them sacrifice themselves in an explosion. It's like, if you just called everyone back, you wouldn't have to sacrifice yourselves. It's just so badly written, but it's so funny. It's just a stupid watch at the same time.
It does sound like it'd be fun.
It's just a fun, bad movie watch. It really is. And then, you want to know how the moon falls? Nanobots.
Oh no.
An alien race made out of nanobots is pushing the moon into Earth. I'm not joking. That is the plot line. That is the main bad guy of the film.
I watched Jeepers Creepers for the first time a few weeks ago, and I don't know if you've ever seen that film as a horror film. It starts off like a really, really good, really serious horror movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's this mysterious truck that drives around killing people, shoving them down a hole. They go and investigate the holes. Like, oh my god, he's nailing people to the wall and like turning them into like crystal dolls and shit. Like, super creepy. Oh wow, that's super fucked. And then they capture him right at the end. Like the main protagonist gets captured right at the end. The killer sprouts some wings and flies off. He's just a vampire. But you just look at it like, really, he drinks it's a vampire film. Like, if you're gonna make it a vampire film, make it a vampire film from the fucking start. Don't get literally like 75% through the film and then just go, oh, he's no longer got a car, he's a vampire. And it's just like, oh, that was so badly written. Like, I would not have a problem with the character if he was one or the other. A psychotic killer with a car or a vampire. You can't be a psychotic killer with a car and a vampire, because otherwise what's the point in the fucking car as a use of as a point of terror? It just as soon as you realise you can't kill this dude, it's just, why bother? It's like the car loses its fear factor as he becomes a supernatural entity. Just fucking waste of time. Such a terrible movie. And they went on to make like fucking 6 sequels. Like, why? I'm not even bothering to watch them. Oh, me and Dee watched Paranormal Activity at work for the first time as well.
Such a trash
That's
movie as
such
well.
a bad film.
The first one I can understand because I think they had a budget of like $13,000 or something
It's
like that.
15,000, I think, in the end.
Yeah, it was a real low budget film. So that I can understand and I can appreciate that in filmmaking as well. And you can see it as well. You can see where they've cheapened out, and you can see where they're quite limited on their filmmaking. But they made a decent film for the budget, I thought.
I thought it was a fucking god-awful film for its budget.
I mean, yeah,
It's
it's still a shit film.
it's literally 120 minutes of a door slamming,
Yeah, that is
followed
that.
followed by 5 seconds of a possession.
Yeah, yeah. There's not a lot of haunting going on. They tried to do like a slow build up to it, but the slow build up to it is just a bit boring and shitty. Like
Yeah.
the scene where like she gets dragged out of bed. Okay, yeah, that's a decent enough scene. I think maybe the talcum powder thing where they wake up and they start freaking out. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But the ending where she like kills the guy as well, and she like stares at the camera. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, there's a lot of slow build up to it, and you watch it and you think, come on, let's get going now. But there is like an underlying storyline to it. If you watch the second one and the third one, they are connect, and there's a fourth one as well. I don't think
No,
I've ever seen
there's
the
more
fourth
than
one.
there's more than that. Because the
Is it- I
direct the
thought there was only
direct
four.
Nah, the director apparently went on to make his like fucking. He made an absolute killing off those films.
Yeah, we did. That made the first one made fucking tons of money. It
Yeah.
made an unreal amount of money.
It's one of the highest grossing by percentage movies ever made. I think it might even be the highest grossing movie by percentage ever made.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's actually loads more. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
there's absolutely tons.
Yeah.
Because
Well, it's
I sat
you
there
got
and debated
four.
whether or not I wanted to watch the rest of them. Like, I
So
literally thought about it.
there's about.
What was
So
it?
there is
Well over there.
7 movies in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, number two is basically the same as number 1, but it carries on from number 1. It's the same sort of deal, same sort of setup, but it starts to reveal the underlying storyline that they're trying to filter in. Number 3 is a prequel to number 1, which I thought was a decent film, to be fair. It gets intense quite quickly.
Oh, okay.
And at the end, which I'm not gonna spoil, it
Oh no,
does.
but you can spoil it. You can totally spoil it.
So, I mean, I've got to try and remember it as well. It's been years since. I mean, I saw number 3 in the cinema. That's how long ago it was, and that was in 2011. So
Oh,
number,
Jesus.
yeah. So number, okay. So number 2, it starts to reveal the underlying storyline. Starts to reveal. So you know the girl in number 1.
Yeah.
She has a sister. Now the possessed demon kid overtakes Big Booby sister. You'll see why, obviously.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is it like full on memes?
No, like literally, like one sister has massive tits, the other's flat chested. So demon possesses Big Booby sister. Obviously, number 1 happens. She gets possessed, kills her fella, and all that sort of shit, and then fucks off. Number 2
fuck.
is the same sort of thing. The demon is trying to do more possession, do more haunting shit, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of number 2, the Big Booby sister kidnaps the child. I think she kills her sister as well, actually. She kidnaps the child of flat-chested sister. That's where number 2 ends. Number 3 comes in as a prequel, and I believe it's their parents that gets haunted. More, again, it's the same sort of. There's a bit of a theme. It's the same sort of shit, but it's a bit more intense. It kicks off a lot quicker this time round, and it's more filmed in much more of a 80s sort of manner as well. Anyway, usual shit goes on and stuff like that, and they move house this time. They move from the first haunted house
Yeah.
to their grandparents, I believe. And then this is where like the storyline really kind of kicks off a little bit. The demon, I think, kills the parents from what I remember, or maybe knocks them out. Um, s- but the grandparents are a little bit on it, and at the end, there's just like this fucking cult thing come into the room when
Right.
either the parents have been knocked out, and they're like basically trying to take the girls away. Um, number four comes around. I can barely remember number four, but it's more to do with the cult. And at the end of number three, it basically reveals that the grandparents done a deal with the demon. I can't remember what the deal with. I think it was because someone had cancer or some shit, like like generic shit like that.
Yeah.
That they would sacrifice the first male born of that family. All of that family line has been girls up until the second film, where the Flatchester sister has the first male.
Right.
Number four comes along, and I can't really remember number four that well, but again, it's a bit more generic and quite shit, to be fair.
I mean, to be fair, the movies aren't exactly.
It's a crap movie line. Like the
Uh,
underlying
yeah.
storyline did help to like. I mean, it pulled my attention a bit more. So, but at the end of it, you're like, well, I want to know more now. Number four comes
That's how they
along.
get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah, number four comes along. I can't quite remember what happens with it, but I know there's a young version involved. I think the cult has got to try and kidnap the version to sacrifice her to complete some ritual. That's the general gist of number four. And then I didn't even realise it made another three after that, so Sneaky's gone. And then yeah, that's the general gist of that afterwards.
Yeah. I watched it and thought it was, well. Oh God, he's spectral. Or is he lagging? Oh, he might be lagging. Or is he a minion? I can't tell. Oh my God, he's extra fast. No. Oh God, leave me alone. That's okay, I'm alive. Panic's over. That's a room of gold. I never really found much. Oh no, I'm out of keys. I never really found too much entertainment in the paranormal style films, if I'm honest. I just feel like, you know,
The problem is with those sort of films is that they try and replicate the Blair Witch film.
the level of fear.
Yeah, like the whole shaky the shaky camera and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the whole, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, what was that shadow? You know, they try and develop that fear of the unknown and create attention. But the issue is that worked with Blair Witch because of the age of the film, because at the time no one really done it from what I can remember at the time. The issue is that we live in a time where that's just fucking standard and boring. But they look at Blair Witch and go, "Oh yeah, let's try and replicate that," and it just then becomes out as a boring film.
I'll tell you what I did see advertised in the cinema while we were there in the trailers, and that is the new Evil Dead film, which I think will be.
Evil Dead.
You've never seen the Evil Dead? Now
Think I
that
have.
is a classic horror movie about a guy called Ash Williams who goes into the forest and he finds a book. He's on there on a camping vacation with his girlfriend and some friends, and they hear a noise coming from under the carpet. They lift the carpet up and there's like a fucking basement, and then there's like this possessed old lady living in the basement. and they open the book and unleash hell upon Earth. And then he gets his arm fucked up, and he tapes a fucking chainsaw to his arm. Like, it was a pretty serious horror movie. And then like all the subsequent sequels were a bit of a lol. Like they turned them into sort of like lol films,
Yeah.
where it was kind of like, hey, look at this dude who's a bit wacky and has a chainsaw on his arm. And was like, yeah, you've kind of already done that, and he would just come out with fantastic one-liners. And then they went and made they went and made Ash versus the Evil Dead on Netflix. They done 3 seasons of it, and then the guy who plays Ash Williams just basically said, "I'm too old to carry on. I quit." So they got to the end of the 3rd season and stopped doing it. So now they're relaunching the franchise with Champion Pack. Kill it. Where they're now relaunching the franchise with a more traditional feel to it. They did actually remake the first film, but it was done in I think 2017, 2016, and what they did is they changed Ash Williams from a bloke to a girl and just done like gender role reversal, and the film flopped because everyone was like, why are you doing this?
Have you ever seen a film called Grave Encounters?
Grave Encounters? No, I don't believe so.
That's actually a pretty decent horror film. And like, this is coming from me who normally hates horror films. It relies on a lot of jump scares, I will say that. But it's a good, decent watch anyway. It's a little bit irritating to begin with, was just the whole, oh, we're paranormal hunters, we're gonna hunt this fucking hospital and shit like that.
Oh no.
And then that's when shit starts going wrong. And then Grave Encounters 2, I think, was pretty decent as well, because it does sort of carry on. It's definitely linked to number 1.
Yeah. If there's one thing I hate is when they milk a terrible horror film. I mean, take Friday the 13th for example. The first film was absolutely fantastic. The second film was probably just as good. And then from that point on, things kind of go a bit shit. And it's the same with the Halloween movies. You get to number 3, and number 3 is all about it's not even to do with Michael Myers. It's to do with the universe of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel right.
What's another? What was Annabelle part of that film series? Was that part of the Insidious franchise?
Oh, I did not watch Insidious. I started watching Insidious.
What's the one with fucking nuns and shit like that?
I couldn't tell you, but I will tell you that I started watching Insidious. I started watching the first movie, and I think in the first 15 minutes there's a baby crying, and the baby cries for about 10 or 12 minutes, those 15 minutes, and it just done my fucking head in. And I was like, look, I have a kid. I don't watch a horror movie. This doesn't make me.
That is the horror.
This doesn't upset me. It doesn't horrify me. It doesn't even set my teeth on edge. It just pisses me off, right? And if I'm getting pissed off at a film, I'm not watching it, because at that point you're giving me the wrong emotions to want to sit down for entertainment. I like watching a horror movie because I like the thrill, the suspense. I like the bit of scare. You don't get that with Insidious. The first 20 minutes of the film is just being pissed off because a baby won't fucking shut up. It's like, I don't care what the reason is now. You've completely lost me in the fucking terms of a plot. There was a fucking piano playing and I was just like, it's just fucking noise. It's just noise. It's just sensory noise constantly. And I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this level of sensory noise constantly battering my brain. I can't do it.
The Conjuring, that's the universe it's part of.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen The Conjuring. My mum recommended it to me. She said it was good.
I know I saw one I saw Annabelle. Wanna say, fuck, I can't quite remember. I know I saw another horror in the cinema, which I thought was pretty shit. That might have been a Conjuring one. It might have been The Nun actually. I remember that. But yeah, Conjuring. I wasn't too much a fan of Conjuring.
The champion pack is stuck. The champion pack is stuck. And I can't hit it. Yeah, you know, I don't think I'll watch Insidious. I prefer my my what I'd call my classic horrors. You know, like I really enjoy classic horror movies. Because back then, you know, they're trying to scare you. And then sort of like 1980s, 1990s slashers come along, and that's where I really get in. I love slasher movies. They are just absolute. It's like, who's gonna die next?
Yeah, I prefer a slasher to like a horror, because at least a slasher is aware of what it is, so it just makes it as entertaining as possible.
Yeah, well, I
'Cause
think
I
that's
feel like
why
with some horror films, it just takes itself too seriously.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Scream was so successful. Is I think a lot of people looked at it and went, "Oh, this is just a lame slasher flick," and it's like, well, there's quite a lot more to it than it just being a lame slasher movie. First of all, I mean, it's in the horror genre. It's a slasher movie, but it's actually mostly a whodunit. Because unlike other slasher movies, you know who the killer is. In that they specifically withhold that information. Excuse me. They do withhold that information. But more importantly, they give you the entire cast, so you know it's one of the people on the screen, and you're sitting there racking your brains trying to work out who it is. You know, that's a bit of interaction, if you're prepared to do it. If you're not prepared to do it, if you're not prepared to look at it in that light, then it's just a terrible film, and it always will be. You know? But if you're prepared to look at it in the light of, I can have fun with this film by challenging myself to try and find out who the killer is before the reveal, and I'll tell you what, you know, 6, I came close with 4. I got 5, because there were certain things that just didn't add up with some of the killers. I think I got 3 the first time I watched it. I didn't get 2. 2 was a complete surprise. 1, the first one, I think I got like Stu as one of the killers, but I didn't get Billy. And this one, I kind of half suspected who the killers were, but they kept like throwing in curveballs, like literally as the murders are happening, they're throwing down possibilities, which is they have done that before in Scream films to try and throw you off the scent, and it works. And they've done other things in Scream 6, which they've only done in one other film, which made it near impossible to work out until the big reveal. And it's kind of like an episode of Scooby-Doo where instead of them having the the guy tied up and he says, I would have got on away with it as well if it weren't for you meddling kids. Instead of that happening, it's just kind of like they've always got them at knife point, and the heroine, the last girl, is about to die, and she's about to pull some bullshit out of her ass. You know she is, but you're gripped because you want to hear his monologue. You want to know what it is the killer is going for, why they're there, what their motives are. And it's worth it in the end. It's nearly always worth it. But you have to approach the Scream films differently. And that's I think that's where a lot of people fall down. They look at it and they go, it's just shit, and it's just such a disappointment. Because I'm like, you've missed the point. You've missed the point of the damn film. Like, even my wife had a good time, and she hates, like, the Ghostface killer. The Ghostface freaks her out every time, 100%. She says it's one of the most freaky things in the world. She hates looking at it.
Really?
Yeah. But she still sat there and watched it and still said it was a good film.
Quite surprising. Ghostface is quite a simple. I'm not gonna say monster, but creepy horror person.
It's the anonymity of Ghostface, isn't it? Like the thing is with Ghostface is it literally could be anyone.
I suppose that's the same thing with Saw, and I suppose Jigsaw did feel his identity. That's a terrible relation.
Yeah, like Michael Myers wears a mask in Halloween, but Michael Myers has a name. The killer is Michael Myers. He wears his mask. And Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 2 and on wears a hockey mask and has a machete. But again,
and like Nightmare on Elm Street, you got the fucking I can't remember the guy, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. But he doesn't wear a mask. But yeah, he's got
his fucked up face and all that.
He's got his fucked up face, and these are all slasher horror movies. But you all know from the start who the bad guy is. And the thing is with Ghostface, it's just an off-the-shelf Halloween trinket that anyone could buy, anyone could wear, and anyone could kill in.
Yeah.
And they didn't even make the Ghostface mask for the film. It literally is an off-the-shelf mask.
Yeah, that's a fair point, to be fair.
Which is something they also got from Halloween. Halloween was an off-the-shelf mask, wasn't it? Michael Myers' mask was a mask of Captain Kirk that had been spray painted white and the hair dyed black, quite famously. And
all this talk of like fucking horror characters like make me go through like creepy pastas and stuff like that, and I'm just realizing how fucking terrible they are.
Yeah. Well, I really like Lazy Masquerade on YouTube. If you ever look him up, he is really, he's not creepypasta, but he finds some really fucking.
I do like the horror story type things. Like,
yeah.
I don't mind some like the original creepypastas. They were good because they were quite original material. Like Slender Man, the most famous one, and probably the first creepypasta. That had good, decent story writing to it. Jeff the Killer's another one as well. There's some decent enough original material, but then all the others after that are just so badly written. It's unreal.
I know you didn't like it, but I genuinely liked the Slender Man movie.
Oh, I got halfway and I was just like, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I did like that
I
film.
can't. I can't even watch it in an ironic manner. It's just the thing is, Slender Man. The Slender Man character is quite a decent character, I think.
He's very
It's a
iconic.
yeah, it's iconic, but when you read into the character and how he takes his victims, you know, you don't really hear it in any other circles or anything. You know, it's quite original. I quite like how like the victim taking is done. And I quite like the actual character design itself. I think it's quite a good. It's a simple design, but it's also quite eerie and quite creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I just couldn't get on with the film. That was just crap.
I mean, the acting was bad.
Yeah, it was very
the
amateurish.
The acting was very bad. I will admit, but I still enjoyed the entertainment value that they tried ever so hard.
Yeah,
Like the cinematography was good, the CGI was good, the plot was okay. You know, the direction was good, but the acting was just shit.
yeah. The acting was just fucking terrible. I'm
Like
not gonna lie.
like the characters just did not sell it to me.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you, I really liked another one I liked, Fear Street. That's on Netflix. That's another slasher movie.
yeah.
Fear Street. There's 3 Fear Street films. There's 1994, which is the first one, 1978, which is part 2, and then there's like 1664, which is like part 3. And
Oh,
six.
sorry. I'm just looking at Lazy Masquerade, and one of the videos is titled "Exploring Some Internet Rabbit Holes." Straight away, that's up my street.
Yeah, Lazy Masquerade is good. Because I know you like Coffee House Crime because I watch him as well.
Yeah,
If you like Coffee House Crime, the 2 guys sound identical. I assure you they are not, because I fucking checked. I was like, this is the same guy. He's got 2 channels. It's not the same guy. But yeah, you'll like Lazy Masquerade. He does like 20-minute videos. Sometimes he dedicates a single story, but these are all apparently things. Apparently, I will put that in big quotation marks. Apparently, things that have genuinely happened. So these aren't just creepy pasta. These are mysterious cases of people who have gone missing and been found dead. You know.
yeah. I mean, there are, yeah, I mean, there are fucked up cases and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. I always find when someone says it's based on like Paranormal Activity. Apparently, that's based on a true story.
Oh god. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
So whenever someone uses this is based on a true story, I'm straight away thinking, yeah, it's a load of bollocks. That's not based on a true story.
But I mean, Coffee House Crime, all of his shit is based off a true story. However, the thing is, you can go and verify it because he gets all of his from court cases.
Yeah, I mean, with some like YouTube horror channels, or I say horror channels, what creepy channels?
Yeah.
Like at least they do have evidence to back it up, and they don't try and pass it off as this is real facts. You know, if any of it is a bit hit and miss, they will tend to say.
But he does have things that would lead me to believe that it is true, that at least some of them are true. He covered there's one that Lazy Masquerade covered, which was all about bizarre TikToks. So
Yeah.
again, these are things that can be verified. And yeah, one of the bizarre TikToks was absolutely fucked.
TikTok is a fucked like social media
Oh
platform.
no, this is like we're talking like rapey, murdery, fucked.
Yeah, you get cartels on there doing executions.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah,
this is
trust me, you can bend them algorithms, mate, and you can reveal some pretty fucking weird shit.
oh god.
Yeah, like well, yeah, the algorithms of TikTok is it's interesting to see it off its leash. Quite disturbing at the same time. But yeah, like it's not unheard of for cartel execution videos, uncensored, to be on TikTok.
Okay, right
A
then.
lot of Ukrainian war footage is on TikTok as well. Quite vicious footage as well. Yeah, it's fucking TikTok's a fucking rabbit hole and a half, mate. And
Yeah.
the thing is, because with TikTok you got a For You page, which is basically the content it's trying to push in front of your eyes all the time.
Yeah.
And something I've noticed with it is that if you take in the, you'll have like your general stuff, which is like the algorithm's gotten to know you.
Yeah.
So it'll push like the sort of content you would be known to enjoy. But then it'll throw a random thing in there. Like the most random thing ever. And this random thing I had was something to do with a fact with pregnant women.
Right.
I
Okay.
thought, oh, that's actually pretty interesting. And then immediately the algorithm's like pregnant women stuff. I just got bombarded with like anything to do with pregnancy or like fucking anything on that
Yeah.
side of things.
I've
It
had
will
that
just-
happen
it will
before with
As soon as it will
Instagram.
find something that sort of sticks, it will just bombard you with stuff.
I've had something similar with uh Instagram Reels before.
Yeah,
Whereas like, because a lot of the things I look at or used to look at were like 40k models related. So
Yeah.
quite often you'd put hashtag miniature, hashtag models, or hashtag miniature models and stuff like that. And of course that doesn't, like, Instagram can't tell the difference between a miniature tank and fucking Becky from down the road with her butt hanging out, who's putting hashtag model in her picture, which is, you know, that's fair. It's not going to know the difference. It's just looking at the hashtag. So there is that, and I've got things before that I've looked at and I've gone. I'll tell you, the best one I looked at was last week. There was one that was suggested to me. It was like, oh, you might like this thing about ADHD awareness. Literally every other reel at the minute is just about ADHD awareness, and it's just like, oh.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
I'm aware now.
I looked at one video. Come on, you know, it's like, look, the 99% of the other videos I look at are memes or to do with Warhammer, or both. So can you stop putting that shit in front of me now? It's great.
Yeah, and the thing is, even when you tell it not to recommend you it still recommends it.
Oh yeah, of course it does. It's got to recommend it.
Yeah.
You can't not do that. How dare you suggest otherwise? It's funny because you know at some point that's almost, it's borderline being done deliberately to push a specific thing for whatever reason. I mean, I don't profess to know the reason why it was pushing ADHD awareness on me. It doesn't seem like it's anything that needed to be specifically pushed in mainstream.
I mean, to be fair, it was pushing pregnant women on me, so you know.
Well, maybe it's trying to tell you something.
Yeah, push him down the stairs.
For the YouTube moderator that ever views this, that was a joke. You can look it up in the dictionary. It's designed to make people laugh. We thought that was funny, and humor is subjective.
I'm not made out of fucking coat hangers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coat
no,
hanger
it's-
memes.
But no, like, it is quite with stuff like algorithms and how it pushes. Like, obviously, you and me have been on the internet for a long time. You know, we're used to the old school internet and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
back in the
like-
day when there was like no fucking restrictions, you just like,
the back in the Wild West when the internet was actually good, and you're not getting bombarded with advertisement every 5
Where
seconds.
you would go on to Lycos and you'd type in porn, and all you would get is a picture of a 40-year-old dude in his bumhole, and that's it. You know, and it's just like, welcome to the internet. You're fucking. How old was I when that happened? Jesus Christ, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I miss the days where like the more like shock sort of videos would always hear about it from like social circles. It would always be like whispers. It would never be a Twitter trend or anything. Mainly because Twitter didn't exist back then.
Yeah.
But you like always like the shock videos or shock images will always be like whispers that you'd hear in like college class or like from friends or whatever.
I mean, even
Like,
by the time we'd got to college, the internet had been really censored and turned down.
yeah,
You know, it wasn't anything like it was in the mid '90s when I was a kid. Like in the mid '90s, you went and watched something on the internet. You know, there was like no fucking restrictions. There was websites dedicated to everything.
I kind of miss that as well. Having like websites dedicated to stuff. Oh, you want to find out something? Oh, I'll go to this particular website rather than just I'll look at it on
Google.
Twitter or Google or Facebook or whatever, and it just sends you down this like 10 or 15 different websites. There'd always be these weird and quirky websites.
I mean, obviously the most famous of which is rotten.com.
Yeah.
Followed by 4chan, which was the most recent one. But I mean,
Yeah, 4chan's gone downhill though.
there was ratemy.com, wasn't there?
Yeah.
People used to do things like rate my poo, and
Did you ever venture into the very disturbing world of 8chan?
8chan.
8chan. So you know how 4chan is like
I think
we're all about internet freedom. You know,
Yeah.
we're all about uncensored. You can have anything you want on here, and we all know the type of people that attract.
Yes.
There's this group that were like, no, that is too restrictive. We'll go off and make our own website called 8chan. And my god, it was some of the most degenerate stuff on there known to mankind. It would made 4chan look sophisticated. It really did. And it's
Making
been taken off the
4chan
internet now.
looks-
You can't. It's been wiped off the internet. You can't get access to 8chan anymore. They've literally yeeted it. But yeah, that was a fucking yeah.
Making
That
4chan
was
look
that's a
sophisticated.
website. It really did, mate. Oh, like, I can't even begin to describe some of the stuff because you're fucking live stream. But
I
clicked
think
on
I might
there
have
and
been
I was
on
just
there.
like, I clicked on there and I saw some of the stuff and like some of the like the headline stuff, and like it was a very similar setup, like UI setup to what 4chan is.
Yeah.
But it didn't. You know how 4chan this like the normie stuff, shall we say, like
Yeah.
cars, food, you know, that sort of stuff, and then you have the not safe for work section,
Yeah.
and the more well-known 4chan sections like Pole and B and all that.
Oh, yeah. B is one of the most degenerate places on the internet.
Okay, so think of B.
I
Mo-
think
and-
I might
and
have
times
actually
it
been
by
on.
10.
I think I might have actually been on 8chan because
Yeah.
there's not many websites that I have actually blocked from my router. But I believe it is one of the chans. I don't think it was 4chan. It might actually be 8chan.
Yeah, well, I mean, 8chan's been yeeted off the internet now, so no one can get access to it.
This would have been back in 2016. No, maybe, yeah, no, 2016. I'm sure it was when I blocked one of them. I'll have a look in a second. There's a really simple way for me to find out. If I just hit desktop, open new tab, and go 4chan. Yep. No, it was 8chan I blocked.
Yeah,
I blocked
yeah,
8chan through my router because I can
Yeah.
still access 4chan. I actually did block a website, and it takes a lot for me to go, do you know what? I don't think this should be accessed by my computer.
Yeah, and what way you can't access it at all because it got deleted off the ClearNet in August of 2019.
Yeah, then it was definitely that
Yeah.
one. I remember visiting it and thinking to myself, "Oh my fuck, that's dodgy as hell."
Yeah, like I didn't let me put it like this. I didn't spend long on that website because I was just like
No, I
I
remember logging into the website, looking at one image section, and went, "Well, I'm gonna need to clean my hard drive."
yeah, I was looking on the website and I was just like I can already hear the FBI vans turn up.
Yeah, I can
I'm
already
going
hear
to
the
close it
police.
down.
Yeah, I closed it down. I don't think I went as far as reformatting, although I have reformatted since then. In fact, I've changed my entire computer several times since then.
Yeah, I've
But
got your old computer, so I'll be knocking on my fucking door.
nah, I think that hard drive that I would have used has been long since been destroyed. I just, you see, I don't generally, when I get rid of a computer, I generally don't give people the hard drives. I keep
Yeah,
them and I do one of two things. I either install the hard drive into my new computer, or if I'm not going to use it, I physically destroy the hard drive.
yeah,
Not because I have anything to hide, but because, you know, sometimes you've got personal images on there, you've got personal data on there. You know, I don't want some weirdo picking up my fucking hard drive and getting access to my pictures. So it's just been a habit I've done my whole life. Which does sound suspicious, I won't lie, but it's not anything suspicious, I assure you.
yeah. But we live in the age where like fucking personal data is sold on a daily basis for like
Yeah,
50p.
yeah. Like one of the most traded things in the world. In fact, the most traded things in the world is personal data.
Yep.
It's actually more valuable than crude oil,
Yeah, I could probably
and
believe that to be
there's
fair.
an unlimited supply of it in the West.
Yeah, and people are more than willing to give it without even fucking realizing it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So that's part of the reason why a lot of my social media has been scrubbed. I've scrubbed so much of my social media over the years. I've deleted so many things and got rid of so many images. I know technically once it's out there on the internet, it's there forever, but you know it's a lot harder to find after a decade of it being deleted. So
I mean, it just gets buried as well. To be
yeah,
fair,
well
there's so much information there; it will just get buried underneath.
the facts of YouTube are one of those. I can't remember what it was. I remember.
400 hours of content every minute is
Yeah,
uploaded.
yeah. And if you were to watch,
Something like that. I wanted to
yeah,
say maybe it's 40, but
no, no,
it's
it's
an
something of,
absurd amount of numbers.
yeah. And if you wanted to watch all of the content that was ever made from point X to now, you would need some insane amount of time. I think
Yeah.
someone worked it out as like 29 times the length of human civilization.
Yeah, I know. It's
Like there
fucking.
is that. I mean, like when you think about that, I'm making a live stream on a platform where there is that much available content. I am never going to get discovered because I'm getting buried upon buried, like constantly over and over and over again. But it doesn't bother me because I don't do it for that, you know. But it is really daunting when you sit there and you think about it. You think to myself, oh my god, that is a phenomenal sum of data. That
I mean,
is,
you just have to think about the size of the internet itself. Like YouTube, like just the phenomenal amount of data on YouTube is fucking mind blowing. That's one website. Now you got the ClearNet, so Google. Let's not mention any others because they're relevant. Yahoo,
yeah,
lol. Um,
like no one ever goes on Yahoo except for
yeah,
boomers.
no,
I
mate.
read it.
The real boomers use Ask Jeeves.
Is that still a thing?
I think that is the thing. Actually, I looked at it a little while
Hang
ago,
on,
and
hang on. Let me put
Ask
in
Jeeves
Ask Jeeves.
is still a thing. Oh no, I don't think it is.
No, it's still a thing, but it's now a marketing company. It's no longer a search engine.
Oh, I got Ask UK.ask. They must have changed the name.
It's askjeeves.net.
Oh, we got
Ask Jeeves a question. Is Jeeves better than Google? So I didn't even have to finish it.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves, now called Ask.com. Yeah, so it's just changed name. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's still a thing.
Is Lycos still a thing? I wouldn't have thought so. I'd have thought Lycos has died.
Doubt it, yeah.
Lycos was like, do you remember Thoughtbot? Or no, Hotbot. It was Hotbot, wasn't it? That was the search engine, Hotbot.
Don't remember Hotbot.
Yeah, that was like the search engine before Yahoo. So we're going
We're going back.
some, yeah. Like I remember, obviously, 1994 internet.
No, I'm looking at the images of it and I don't remember that. Got quite a distinctive logo.
A little
But
green
yeah,
and
anyway,
red.
going back to the original thing I was about to say, like you got like you got like the standard search engine and the sheer amount of data on there is unreal. Like you can't even put it into a comprehensible example because it doesn't exist in the real world.
Yeah.
That is only like what 5% of the actual internet. Because then you got all the fucking like deep red web and the fucking
Onion router shit.
onion router shit and all that sort of bollocks and the unlisted stuff as well. And that is just, well, obviously it's just fucking ginormous. That makes up for like 90% of every single web traffic ever.
I mean, like, really far back, before the internet was like a solid thing, you had www dot, and then you had like another 5 different competitors, and it was the World Wide Web that won out. But like, I can't for the life of me. I was so young, I can't remember, but I remember there being like different ways to access the internet. I mean, like, I remember the old, dial-up modems and shit, and you would go on.
I remember that noise.
Yeah, and it's just so funny watching kids today go, "Oh, that's that meme noise," and it's like, no, that's not the.
that is the noise of everyone being at home, so you could use the phone line to use the internet. That's what that noise is.
I'll tell you what that noise is. That noise is your dad getting pissed off with the phone bill at the end of the month.
Yeah.
You know. That's you thinking it's great having to wait, 20 minutes for a fucking picture to load.
Yeah, the fucking pixelation.
Downloading a single MP3 and sticking
it takes like half an hour to do a fucking search result.
and then sticking the MP3 onto a fucking floppy disk because you didn't have a CDR.
Floppy disk? What's that? That's the save icon, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you laugh.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people do think that.
Yeah. I back in my day, when you still had floppy disks to boot Windows, that was a thing. That was a thing when I was a kid. Yeah, the old Amigas and Ataris and shit. It was the Amiga 500s, I think, that were more like modern day desktops, or what were modern desktops back then, I should say.
This is an interesting fact. Google, so I've just because of looking at Google questions, and like what was the most popular website of 2023?
Right.
Google holds a strong position as the most visited website, with an impressive 85 billion visits.
How many over the course of what? Its life?
Well, I'm assuming 2023, so I'm assuming this year, and that article was written in February 14th.
I mean, it tracks. I mean, the problem is though with being the world's greatest search engine, and let's not beat around the bush. It is the world's greatest search engine. It you can't really deem yourself to be a fucking website because people aren't going there to use you for any other use than find other websites.
Yeah,
So
true.
it's kind of unfair.
Well, I suppose they put stuff like Gmail into that mix as well.
Yeah,
And
that's
other
more of a
Google.
more of an app. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like what replaced Hotmail, the Microsoft mailing app.
Oh, Outlook.
Outlook, that's it. It's like the Outlook app. Like, yeah, okay, it's a website, but it's realistically, I mean, it's not, is it? I mean, no one. I mean, I remember when email replaced mail, and everyone was like, "Ah, that's it. Email's the future." No one reads their email. I don't know a single fucking person outside of a job where you have to read email. I don't know a single fucking person who opens up their email and goes, "Yeah, I read my email." Everyone's
If
like
ever
me.
I get an email that I know and was like expecting, I have to double check it just to make sure it's not a scam.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're expecting an email, like an invoice or something, you'll go on there and look for it. But then, even then, like, I'll open up my email and I'm sifting through like 5,000 fucking emails. Because it's just, you just sent shit on a daily basis. Like, do I really want this in my life? Unrelated, but also pretty cool. Well, I suppose it is related to a degree. I used to work with a guy, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, I don't know why anyone bothers with a landline anymore." I went, "Nah, me
What?
neither." A landline.
The land. Oh, I thought.
You
Sorry,
know.
I thought. Sorry. I thought you meant like a land internet connection. I'm like,
No,
whoa,
no, no,
what?
no, like a landline. And
Yeah.
I said to him, "Yeah, you know," I said, "I don't know why anyone bothers with it at all." I said, "I'd only." He said, "Yeah." I said, "The only reason why I've got my phone at home is because you need it for the internet." And he went, "Nah, you don't." "What do you mean you don't?" I was like, "I ain't got 5G." I said, "I'm not plugging that into my PC." No, no. He said, "I'm not saying that." He said, "Just plug your internet router in." I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Then unplug your phone." And I just sat there and I looked at it and went, "You're a fucking genius." And he was like, "Yeah, just unplug your phone." He went, "Just disconnect. Just disconnect, bro." And I looked at him, I was like, "You are just without a doubt the most genius man I've ever met."
But no. I. To be fair, I haven't got a landline.
No?
No, I don't have a landline at all. I've got straight internet, but I've got like fibre actually running into the house. But I don't have a fucking landline or anything. I got a landline phone because I wanted to test the socket to see if it was active or not.
Yeah.
So I just bought like a fucking cheap ass one for like 12 quid. But yeah, no, I fucking don't have a landline, don't have a landline number. Everything's just done on mobile.
Oh, right. I've got a landline. It was, but when we set it up, that was kind of like a necessity.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of needed it, but to be honest, I don't really see the point. There doesn't really seem to be any point in having it. You know, there's nothing.
Unless you're in an office, there isn't. I've never in the last, I'd say, 15 to 13 years, ever rung someone on a landline, like outside of businesses and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
I've never ever rung like a mate or family on a landline.
I have, and I can tell you who it was and when it was because I done it.
Was it me, wasn't it?
It was you. I left my phone in your car and I couldn't remember what my number was and I couldn't remember what your number was, so I punched a
Oh
bunch
yeah, I
of
was the last
I
one. I
I
was the
punched
last
a
one.
random bunch of numbers on my phone and on my handset at home, and it started ringing, and you answered and I was like, well, I'm so fucking drunk I must have got that right. All I remember is just looking at the phone going, I don't know how to operate this, I'll just keep pressing buttons until it rings, and somehow it called you. I think it's because I had rang you off that phone earlier on that day, and I just got lucky with like the random button presses.
I can imagine you trying to like turn the fucking dial round like the old fucking telephones that you can like pull the fucking circle thing round.
Oh, we used to have one of those when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember them as well.
My grandparents had like this really posh beige fucking digital keypad one. Oh my god, just stand the fuck still, dickhead. Oh my, he's still not dead? Merc, you had like literally one job. Useless fucking bitch. We've got to go fighting Dariel and you're just being a useless bitch. This is hardcore. You fuck up, we die. And that's it. We don't get to go again. There's no respawns in hardcore. Ah, oh, fuck me. A champion pack right next to a boss pack. You take the piss?
Yes.
A ming ming mong. No, we'll go this way first. I'm lost in the catacombs. And I level! Hooray! I think 18's the next level. If I save my 1 point, I can get telekinesis and teleport at the same level. So we shall do just that. We shall save our point, our singular point. Oh. I take it you're training your new employee tomorrow as well?
No, someone else has got that liberty.
So you're doing a regular day's work tomorrow, are you?
Regular day's work. Yeah, I can actually just crack on.
Sounds like you'll be enjoying that.
I can just be in my zone. Just do what I've got to do. Do what I got to fucking do. Have you ever been on the Wayback Machine?
The what?
The Wayback Machine.
I don't know what that is.
Alright, so Wayback Machine. It's an internet archive. It archives. That's very bad English. It archives old internet pages.
Ah.
So you could look up old internet pages, like old news articles and stuff like that, and like explore it. It's actually really quite fascinating. But you can go like back on. Like, I was looking at mid-90s Yahoo, like literally a moment ago, and yeah, it's quite like interesting to be fair.
Mid-90s Yahoo. Yeah, that was a thing. I kind of miss the 90s. Not for nostalgia reasons, just it was a better time. At the
Simpler
end,
times.
it's not so much that it was even a simpler time. It's just there was less shit. Like there was less worry. Like people just saw the internet as this thing that was for nerds, and that was
Well,
it.
that's a great debate with that. Is that because we didn't have as much information, so we didn't have to worry because we weren't able to. But now we got all this information in front of us. We're now always worrying.
I mean, like the internet ultimately the only evolution it's really had is one of restriction over the last 3 decades.
I would wager social media was quite a big evolution
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, no,
in
that's
terms of how mainstream it went as well. Because obviously you had the forums and stuff like that, but we always knew the type of people that would be on there: weirdos and kiddie fiddlers.
well, not quite. You'd also get enthusiasts about a specific forum subject.
Exactly, weirdos.
I mean, you say potato, I say potato.
Yeah.
It's it's the
Um,
same
but yeah,
potato.
But it would like that was never mainstream. Like fucking, oh yeah, you had fucking chat rooms and stuff like that. But again, it was never mainstream. It never had a real life impact as such.
Old
Unless you ended up,
MIRC.
yeah, unless you ended up on like fucking Chris Hansen or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but then like obviously social media really started coming into play, and that actually had a big real life impact, and it still does today, as we quite well know.
Yeah, I
So I would wager social media was a big evolution in how the internet worked, and
I'm
smartphones as well.
well. I mean, smartphones are a product of technology, not necessarily a product of the internet.
No, but it made
But
it way more accessible to everyone.
it did make it more accessible. I mean, like when I was like in my early teens, you know, the internet and video gaming was still seen by most as nerdy. You know, like it was a reason to be picked on at school. Like, you know, why would you want to talk to him? He goes on the internet type thing.
And to be
And
fair, probably up until 2010s, I'd say that was very much the case as well.
I think it was in certain circles, and I think 2010 is where we saw the real rise of the smartphone, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's where the first touchscreen phones started coming out, and internet surfing went from WAP to actual internet. And the
yeah.
internet was being beamed into everyone's faces, and everyone got a Facebook profile and a MySpace profile overnight. Not to say these things didn't exist prior. I mean, I remember when I started going to college when I was 16. You got to remember, by the time I'd met you at college, I'd already been to college. Like, I was 24 when it was 22.
24, I think.
It was 20. I was 23 when I started, and 24. No, I must have been. I must have been younger than that, because I bought the flat when I was 21. So I must have been 22. You know, you're talking like the internet. Why am I even asking? 2010. That was what, 13 years ago. I'm 36. I was 23. There we go. I don't even know why we struggled with that so much. It's so basic maths. Now I've just completely forgotten the point. I was just completely stumped by my own maths.
Stumped by simple maths.
Yeah, you'd never thought that like my actual job entails maths 24/7. Completely off topic. Had that with a customer today. I was like, you wouldn't guess that like. He asked me to work something out, and I sit there and I was like, oh fuck's sake. I was like, It's like 10:30 in the morning. I was like, you're making me do maths? He was like, it is your job. And I'm like, that's irrelevant, you know. I don't care if my job is maths or not. Stop making me do it. Just desist. But yeah, you know, like, we didn't really have any true freedom access to the internet until about 2010, maybe sort of about 2009. Sort of that sort of around about that sort of point with the birth of the smartphone and everything. And it's all extremely relevant because that's where, I mean, MySpace was a thing for high schoolers like maybe 6 or 7 years before, but that was kind of like the extent of it. You know, it didn't really go any further than that. Like, everyone had a MySpace account, it's like, that's it. But with the birth of the smartphone, the access to information and the access to the availability of the technology just absolutely skyrockets. And from that we see the birth of modern dating culture. We see the birth of modern outrage culture, modern cancel culture, modern extremism, in all of its forms, I'd like to point out, all through the access of a smartphone. You know, smartphones have been a massive boon on the Western society. I don't think that they are good for us. That being said, I do have a really nice one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got quite a nice one
Yeah,
as well.
yours is really nice as well.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I was always a big fan of social media. I thought it was a brilliant fucking idea, concept, yada yada yada. But now, the main issue with social media is the algorithms. I think the algorithms are, as we discussed earlier, forever trying to push us in a certain direction to keep us on that platform, because that is the goal. That is the ultimate goal: to keep people on that platform, keep people engaged, in order to push advertisement to us.
Yeah.
And the algorithms are forever trying to do that. As a result, it will find anything, and I literally mean anything, to keep people engaged. And then that's when stuff like certain news articles or certain facts that certain groups agree with, because they have a certain belief system, and that's when the echo chambers start and stuff like that. And then that's when the groups start, or certain Twitter users start. And,
Twitter users, the fucking, they're the true degenerates of the internet. Yes, CAG, it is indeed.
Fucking feels like it.
Yes, CAG, it is indeed Talk Time Tuesday. We're just talking shit tonight.
It is chatting shit.
We're not actually doing anything other than waiting for me to go into that final room that I'm now at, where Andariel sits, and we're going to see if I survive. So, wish me luck. Bear in mind, this is hardcore mode, CAG. If I die in the boss chamber, my character dies.
Not in town.
Right, I have 10 charges. Okay. So, wish me luck, Alfie.
Good luck. Ugh, fuck's sake, it's like 10 past 10.
Andariel is around here somewhere. Better kill off these shamans first. There'll be another one over here somewhere. No, she's gonna be on her. you- let's wager a bet to see if I live or die. Okay, you have my interest. What's the bet? I need to kill him before I go and fight Andariel. Right, we got him. You can't leave me hanging, Cag. You gotta tell me what the conditions of this bet is. If you die, you have to play WoW again live. You can choose whatever game. You bet I do a hot tub stream soon, like you promised. I never promised that, Nils.
Yeah, it was a cold tub stream.
Yeah. Right, so far we've got if I die, I switch game immediately to World of Warcraft. And if I survive... Ooh, what do I get if I survive? I mean, that's a pretty lame... That's a pretty lame forfeit for losing here. But, I mean, it's almost like I better not bother with the survival. I don't know. Stop calling me an e-girl. I will fucking nut you. Jesus Christ.
Like the naughty little e-girl you are.
Fucking. I better not say I nut him because he might get confused over what I mean. I have to do a 24-hour Tarkov stream. What if I die? I have to play.
24 hours of cock and
I
ball torture.
don't know if I could actually physically do a 24-hour Tarkov stream because of the constraints on my real life. However, I'm willing to meet you halfway with that. If I die, I will do a Tarkov stream on Thursday night in excess of 4.5 hours. Bear in mind, most of my streams are normally 3 hours long. You know, you got to allow for the fact I do look after a child. So, 4.5 hours of me dying in Tarkov is basically 4.5 hours of mental torture.
Speaking of which, I've got to go work in the morning, so I'm gonna have to
Oh
off.
shit! My fucking minions triggered the boss. Oh no! Oh no! Stop! She chasing me! Bitch be chasing me! Go away, Andariel. You're... Yeah? Ow. Sucked. Ah, also sucked. Stop it. Oh, no. Oh no, I'm out of stamina. Pop a stand pot.
Right, I'm gonna have to shoot off, Serge.
Okay. I'll see you later. Bitch. I will fucking slay you. No, 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 no. Rejuve, rejuve. No, 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 fucking run, run! Oh my god. Didn't break a sweat, don't know what you're talking about.
The evil queen has fallen.
I very nearly had to do a 4-hour Tarkov stream. Fucking hate Andariel. She's a bitch. She's just a bitch to fight against. She's not even the worst boss in the game. That's the annoying thing. If I win, I have to do a 3-hour. Look, we didn't even get round to that because my minion decided to pull the boss before I was fucking ready. I don't know what I get now. We managed to make a bet before I was ready. Bloody useless fucking derpy minion. Well, we've made it through Act 1 on hardcore. Duriel is the next boss in the end of Act 2. Duriel is a particularly nasty boss because what I just did, kiting that boss around that centerpiece, can't do that against Duriel. Duriel's in a tiny fucking box. So I need one tanky motherfucker of a merc. So I think the next set of missions with well, next set of quests, we're going to take us one hell of a long time because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to level the merc so the merc is like peak. I'm going to have to look into getting the absolute best equipment we can get for him.
Good evening. Andariel's death brings about renewed life for us all. We mourn the loss of our dear sisters, but at least
That was
now we can get on
difficult
with our lives.
and very stressful.
I may have misjudged you, Outlander.
Classic Dan.
You are a true hero, and testament to the noble spirit which has inspired our
Just
order
wait,
for
you wait and see what
Farewell,
ninja pulling
my
is.
friend.
You ain't seen nothing yet. My minions are gonna get a hell of a lot worse. Trust me.
This is a great victory.
We're only resurrecting her so we can get the gear off of her and sell it.
I will accompany you on your journey, lending what assistance I can. Remember, Diablo is
Have you
still
guys
out
seen the
there,
cutscenes
seeking
for
something
Diablo
in the
2,
desert.
like ever?
I'm afraid
Like, genuine question. You guys ever seen the cutscenes?
until you find what it is.
Just let me know in the comments box.
Good evening.
2 amazing pieces for a paladin. Yeah, that would have been bloody useful against the boss. Never mind. What we're going to do next is we're going to go into the next act, which means we will get a cutscene.
Finally. Hello.
That's why I'm asking. I'm probably not going to skip it anyway. So we're going to talk to Wareve.
The caravan is prepared. We may now journey eastward to Lut Gholein.
To Lut Gholein.
We traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that arid wasteland. How long? I couldn't say. And always, a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Lut Gholein, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage Talrasha. You were there too, Tyrael. I remember seeing you in my dream. His brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Talrasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
Now you know what I seek, Marius. This is my brother. Sleep now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Lut Gholein. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there.
I fucking love this game. Why does it look so good for a cutscene of its age? They did remaster the cutscene. They did add a lot of new detail. Tal Russia, the mage that was bound to the stone, for example, never had piercings originally on his ear. But even the original cutscenes aged very well. Blizzard, as you know, CAG. Blizzard are very good at making cutscenes. Their animations department are, I genuinely believe, second to none. They make very, very, very good cutscene animations. And this is where my love for their cutscenes came from. This game. Diablo 2. Let's talk to Jeren.
Greetings, honored traveler. I am Jeren, Lord of Lutgolain, and I bid you welcome to my fair port city. I'm glad to know that once again, caravans are free to travel through the Western Pass. For some time now, we have been under siege by an evil power that I cannot identify. Strange, it all began when a dark wanderer came this way, looking for the tomb of Talrasha. No one knows exactly where Talrasha, keeper of Baal, is entombed, but it is certain to be far out in the desert. Now my people whisper tales of the dead rising from their tombs, and horrible creatures lurking amongst the moonlit dunes.
Disney
Even
ripoff.
I have witnessed things which I cannot explain.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Nils.
Order
That's
the
the
port
problem.
closed and all trade ships moored until I am sure that my city is safe. Atma, the tavern keeper, has an important mission for you. Go see her immediately. You'll find her on the other side of town. Now I must return to the palace. I apologize, but I can't invite you in. Things are rather a mess right now.
Right. There's a couple of things we need to do. So we're going to open up our minions thing. We need to give our minion the best possible chance. But we're not using this minion. We need to talk to Grease, I believe his name is.
I bet you wonder how this town manages to stay safe with all the trouble going on out in the desert. Well, I can tell you that it's got nothing to do with the local town guards. They're all in the palace for some reason. Jaren hired me and my mercenaries to help keep the peace around here. We're not cheap, but we're the best this wasteland has to offer.
He's not wrong. They're actually some of the best mercs in the game. Okay, so what we're looking for is prayer. When active, aura slowly regenerates the life of the party and players around you. Have we got one of high level? So we can have Mizan or Gulzar. Current skill level 4. Current. Okay, so these two are literally identical. We'll take Mizan. Okay, so that's got rid of the archer. There's a good reason why we want to get rid of the archer. See, we're playing a ranged character, so we need our minion to run towards danger, not run away from danger, because what we're doing is running away from danger. So having a minion that's doing what we're doing just means, you know, trash never gets cleared. I don't think we can make any rune weapons yet. I don't think we've got enough runes. We will give the Pain Flange ring mail because it's the better item to our merc.
I know much about the ancient religions.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Freya. We're just gonna sell those to you. Ooh. Oh, that's slow attack speed. What we want is fast attack speed. Preferably with sockets as well. What's his strength? 69. We've got anything that speeds up increased damage, dexterity, life gold for monsters, cold resist, and 2 to minimum damage. So yeah,
How
we
may I help?
slow. That's fast with 3 sockets. That does 6 to 21. That might actually be probably the best one there. Oh, I don't know. That's actually pretty good as well. Let's open up Chari's thing. We could cheese it. 5% chance to cast level 3 firebolt on attack. Where's the town exit? Oh, it's over there. See, if we're lucky and we get this town exit, we can just run out and back in. And there's a good reason why you want to do that. Once you run here, see that? Come back in. Run back to the trader. Slightly different weapons. Slow attack speed, 9 to 15, 3 sockets. It's a bit shit, isn't it? We really want fast. We really want a fast one. Or an extra. Oh, that's fast with 2 sockets. I mean, that just might have to do for the time being. We've got plenty of gems we can put in it. We could put some jewels in it, I suppose. I mean, we're not using them any other. That's enhanced damage. That's resistance and maximum damage. 6% enhanced. Hang on, that's 7% enhanced. That goes from 717, 718. So that'll go up by like 1 more point. So it'll be 719. I think it might be better then if we just give him a 1 to 3 cold on top of that. That way, that should be okay.
I'll put that to good use.
There we go, right. Our merc's got some equipment.
I don't expect this of you, but if you want to help me, I would be grateful. In the sewers below our city, there lurks a horrid creature that hungers for human flesh.
It does, you know.
The creature has killed many, including my son and my husband. If you destroy it, I will reward you. Please, be careful though. That beast has taken enough from us already. The sewer entrance is through the trapdoor, just up the street.
The sewer. This is a very misleading part of the area. You think, oh, the sewer isn't too bad once you get to the end of it. Nice and easy. I have a confession to make. This NPC right here, in 23 years, I have never spoken to him. Never. I don't even know what his voice lines are. I've just never... I don't even know what he sells. Fuck it, let's go find out. Let's break a 23-year-long habit.
You look like a sturdy adventurer. You know, I used to be quite the scoundrel in my day. I led the fiercest group of bandits who ever terrorized these sands. Nowadays, I run this here inn and pretty much stay out of trouble. My days of adventuring are behind me.
I just broke a 23-year thing. Well, I could have had that one. Never mind. He has a gamble slot, so we might use that later. No, what am I doing? The sewer trap's up here. Trapdoor to the sewers. Things are about to get funky. Oh shit. Yeah, you get him. These guys hit like fucking trucks. Minion, come and fight for me. That's it, and regenerate my hit points at the same time, please. Thank you very much. You see, that's why we picked him. He can regenerate our hit points, so we don't have to keep popping health potions. It's not overly OP, but it is very, very useful. Especially if you get poisoned or you get like a boss encounter and you're taking a bit of damage. He can run in first, but we've got to make sure he has top level armor throughout the whole thing. He's got to have like the best armor, the most hit points. We have to make sure he's always got the most amount of XP we can possibly give him. So we've got to let him fight as many of these minions as possible. Which is a bit awkward because the AI is a bit stupid. Come on. Fight them. Come on, Mizan. That's it. Get stuck in. We need to get him as much XP as possible. You'd think the corridors would make it easier because, you know, confined fighting, straight line fighting. It doesn't. That's the way down. Okay. We haven't cleared the full map yet though. Back here I've noticed there's a section we haven't looked at up here on the map. So we're going to go and make sure we can milk it for as much XP as humanly possible for Mizan. Once we've got Mizan up a few more levels, we can always take him to fight Andariel as well. That is a bit of an overpowered way of leveling your minion. It's taking them to farm bosses. But it can be done. Also, I will get teleport soon. When I do get teleport, what will happen is when I teleport, my minion will spawn on top of me. So I can get into fights pretty easily with him. We're just making sure he's getting as much XP as possible here. Yeah, he's about just under a quarter of a level. There's a fucking boss. Oh, he's doing fine. He barely even needs my help. Yeah, we'll take all the potions. And Dariel did physically bleed us dry for those. Come on. Get stuck in. there's even more this way we didn't explore. Oh. Go on, Mizan, off you go, mate. He's absolutely slaying these guys as well. He's dealing more damage than me. It's kind of embarrassing. But he's now just going to sit on that corner. Come on. Yep, got him. More sections down here to explore. Minion? Oh, fuck. Off you go, mate. He didn't even break a sweat, look. If we'd have come in from the dock side, we'd have been right next to the way down. There used to be a glitch where you could stack his replenish life with another replenish life. Well, I say glitch. It wasn't really a glitch. It was a thing that you could do with paladins. Yeah, it was paladins and these mercenaries. I'm sure there's only 2 levels to this place. Oh, hello. Really? Yeah, we'll help our minion out here. It's a fucking boss pack. I mean, to be fair, this guy seems to have it pretty much covered. His jab attack seems to be dealing very nice damage. Go on, mate. Come on. Come on. Get stuck in. He's just under half a level. Oh, he is only 1 level behind me then. I thought I was higher level than that. I'm not. I mean, I've done pretty well to get through Act 1 on hardcore by the level I'm at. Normally I wait until I'm a higher level. I normally farm to Mo Highlands for a bit, just so I have the extra hit points for facing off against the boss. Yes. Electrocute them. Minion. We'll need that poison resist shrine. Come on, be the Oh no, this better not be the boss. No, I don't think it is. I was kind of hoping it was going to be the portal. My man just fucking slaying over here. Oh, there is 3 levels. I thought there was 2. I stand corrected. Probably thinking of the jail. We've still not explored over in this corner. Should have probably done that while we were here. Never mind. We got sewer level 2. Now, unless the boss is right near the way down, this might be a waste. Minion, do your thing. Ooh, shinies. That's it, fight him, don't fight me. Might actually level again before I get to the boss. That could be useful. Ooh, chip diamond, thank you. So we're gonna get the Herodoric cube soon, aren't we? I don't know what he's done running up that way. What's his level? He's a quarter of a level behind me. Well, technically he's a full level behind me, but... Potato patat. Boss must be nearby then. Kill Radamant, yeah. So we're not going to get to level before we get to the boss. Die now, please. The Book of Skill. Oh, he knows me so well. The Herodoric Scroll. Oh. My Merc just fucking copped it. What a useless bastard.
Good day.
Just fucking falls over.
The lost Heraldric scroll. Unfortunate turn of events. As the last living Herodrim, I alone have knowledge of its meaning. Now, read the Herodric runes it bears.
Yeah, Deckard Cain.
Herodric mages, after binding Bale within Tal Rasha, magically sealed off his burial chamber from the mortal realm. Those same mages also crafted fearsome Herodric staves, and imbued them with the special power to open the chamber's hidden door. After nearly losing one to the thievery of a rogue sorcerer, they divided all the Herodric staves into two parts, wooden shaft and metal headpiece, hiding them separately to safeguard them. The Herodrim foresaw our right.
This is where we have to comb like endless dungeons to find all the parts.
Heroes like you. Collect both parts of a Herodric staff and unite them using a Herodric cube. Then you may enter Tal Rasha's burial chamber.
Good day.
Rubbish. Right. Got a new skill. Put the extra point into fire for regeneration.
Greetings.
Talk to Atma.
They say that the taste of vengeance is bittersweet, but I find it to my liking. In addition to my undying gratitude, I have spoken on your behalf with the rest of the townspeople. The merchants have agreed to show their gratitude by offering their wares and services at lower rates. Oh, Jaren wants to see you too. You'll find him in front of the palace.
We have killed Radamant, but we haven't cleared the dungeon fully. So that's what we're on to next. We want to get that last bit of XP. Once we get to our desired level, we'll call it. Because we'll unlock teleport and we'll unlock chain lightning. And chain lightning is fucking OP as shit. You don't even have to be accurate with it. Yes, kill all the things. Oh, we're so close to the level. Like I can fucking taste it. Gimme. Ah, dude, there's one tiny bit on the dungeon over here we haven't looked at. I doubt there's going to be enough mobs in that room here, if I'm perfectly honest. We might have to go into the sandy hills. Ain't that a kick in the head? These lightning bugs are a pain in the arse. There we go, we leveled up. We have achieved our level. We've got teleport, we've got chain lightning. So we need to head back to town, find out what the strength cap is we need for this. Oh, my minion leveled up. My minion leveled up immediately. He's just absolutely owning shit. Right, we've got to see what our minimum strength requirement is for some of the goods.
Welcome to the desert rain.
Strength of 33. It doesn't really have anything. I could swear you get like the scaled armor in this area.
How may I help you?
Here we go. Requires a minimum strength of 48, 44. Okay, so it looks like we need to get to a strength of about 48. So we'll dump all of our points into strength. So we're at 41. So another 2 levels. We'll max out the strength that we need for this act. And, oh, we need to assign our skills, don't we? We need to assign 1 to 82, 1 to 52. It does less damage, but it'll hit 5 targets at random. F1, F2, okay.
Not in town.
Can't use that here. How far can we jump? Pretty far. This is how we fight now. We just let the minion take the way once he's got the scent. We're not dealing a lot of damage with chain. So what we might do is we shall set regular lightning bolt to F2, as that deals more damage at the moment, so that'll be better for us to attack with, for the time being at least, because once chain lightning gets up a few levels, that'll become our main attack. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. We ain't got to do anything with this dude around. He's healing us, he's healing himself, and he's dealing all the damage. All we've got to do is just drop him off at a fight like that. Every now and again. We haven't got to do a thing. That'll be into the next zone. Right. It's late. We've achieved more than what we'd set out for this evening. We've managed to kill Andariel, we've managed to get our chain lightning and teleport, and we've fucking cracked Radament's head in. Completed Act 1 entirely. Hardcore is going well. We're on Act 2 of 5 on the first difficulty. So there's every possibility this character actually survives until we get to about Act 3. Once we hit Act 3, that's where things are going to get a bit dicey. Act 4 is bad because of Diablo, so we need to make sure our Merc is always at maximum gear at any given time, because he's going to be the one who's dealing most of the damage, unfortunately, against a boss like that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this evening. I'm going to come back tomorrow night and we're going to carry on, maybe with this, maybe with some World of Warcraft. We'll see how it goes when I get home from work, if I want to do some PvP, or maybe I'll do some wizarding on Hogwarts. Get that broom, got it unlocked, then the game crashed. So we'll see how far back we are on the save on that, because I haven't actually rebooted it yet to see how badly that fucked us up. But either way, thanks for watching this evening, guys. I'm going to head to bed shortly, so I will speak to you all tomorrow.